JBN, we keep you informed. Gun and ammo found on empty lot in Kingston. The police are reporting the recovery of a .380 semi-automatic pistol with a magazine containing 2.38 rounds of ammunition at an open lot along 6th Street in Kingston on Sunday. The Denham Town Police indicated that about 12:30 a.m. a team was on patrol in the area when they saw a group of men. The men were approached by the police, but they ran away. A search was carried out in the area and the firearm found. No one was arrested in connection with the seizure. 2 Spanish Town men charged after gun find. 2 Spanish Town men have been charged with illegal possession of firearm and ammunition following the seizure of a gun and several rounds of ammunition on Lawrence Drive, Spanish Town in the parish on Saturday, May 30. Charged are 21-year-old Renardo Stewart, otherwise called Dwayne, and 33-year-old Omar Campbell, otherwise called Boops, both of Spanish Town addresses. According to the police, about 9:45 p.m., members of the security forces were conducting an operation in the area when a premises was searched. A Glock pistol along with 2 magazines and 25 rounds of ammunition were found. Stewart and Campbell, who were occupying the premises, were arrested. Their court dates are being finalized. Killing of Taxi Association worker shocks colleagues. Workers at the Silver Streak Taxi Association in Mandeville are struggling to come to terms with the death of their colleague Terence Stewart, who was shot and killed in Land Settlement District in the parish last Thursday morning. It is reported that Stewart was traveling in his car to his farm on Thursday morning with 2 other men when unknown assailants fired several shots, hitting him. The 2 men managed to escape. Stewart was later pronounced dead. Stewart, 39 years old, was the former treasurer at the association and also a taxi operator. He was the treasurer here for the past 4 months, and he was also an auto mechanic. It was just since recently that he started his farm and had people working on it. When I heard what happened, I was shocked. I instantly tried calling his phone because I just could not believe, but there was no answer, said his colleague Shadeen Jones. She said Stewart was not one of the most loved for a lot of people, but he had some good traits. He was not a bad person overall. He had his little ways, but he was still not a bad person and didn't deserve to die like this. I feel it for his 3 children that are left behind now. An associate who chose to remain anonymous said Stewart was not the easiest man to deal with, but his ambitious traits were admirable. He was always working. He did a lot of things that he could earn from, because he did not believe in sitting down. On a good day, he was kind and would help you out, but some other days he had a bad attitude. He did not deserve to die like this, though. No one deserves to die like this. The matter remains under police investigation. Masked men rob businesses in broad daylight in St. James. The directive that all Jamaicans should wear protective masks as COVID-19 risk management measures is seemingly being exploited in St. James, where mask-wearing thugs have been carrying out brazen robberies and escaping. One such robbery took place at Barnett Street, Montego Bay, last Tuesday afternoon, when 2 mask-wearing armed men robbed a Chinese-operated supermarket and got away with cash, cigarettes, and other items. According to reports, shortly after 7 p.m., a number of customers were shopping inside the supermarket when 2 men posing as customers walked into the business place. They did not spark any suspicions until they brandished handguns and robbed the establishment of over $150,000 in cash, several stacks of phone cards, and over $300,000 worth of cigarettes. Tuesday night's robbery was not an isolated incident, as according to information received, several business operators have reportedly fallen prey to mask-wearing armed robbers who have been targeting the Montego Bay business district. Wearing a mask may work for COVID-19, but it is surely another epidemic for us as business operators, business operator Garth Brown said. I operate a business in Montego Bay, and I was robbed last week. Although I informed the police about the incident, I did not bother to travel to the Barnett Street police station to file a report, because the robbers were wearing masks like everyone else. We can no longer blame the police because they are responding when they are informed of a robbery. But when they look at the CCTV cameras, all they see are men in masks, which is not enough to identify the culprits, the businessman said. Prior to the COVID-19 pandemic, the police in St. James, through the recently installed Quick Response Motorcycle Unit, were getting a handle on street crimes in Montego Bay, making a number of arrests. However, a police source said they feel like they are back to square one because robbers are now using the mask to blend in with law-abiding citizens. We as police officers in St. James are doing all we can to apprehend these armed robbers, but the task is almost impossible with everyone wearing a mask, the policeman said. We are seeing persons getting away with pickpocketing, the stealing of cell phones and armed robberies because victims are not able to identify these robbers even if they're standing before them. One business operator is suggesting that the government should ban the wearing of hats until the COVID-19 pandemic is over. According to him, it is almost impossible to identify a person wearing a cap and a mask, even in cases where you know the person quite well. I have seen people who I know very well in mask and hat, and if they did not greet me, I would know it is them, said the businessman. The police are also bemoaning the fact that the CCTV, which has emerged as an important crime-fighting tool in recent times, is not effective in the COVID-19 environment. The CCTV is basically useless because with everybody wearing a mask, how do you differentiate one person from another? Personally, I can't wait for this COVID-19 situation to end so that we can function normally again, said the policeman. PNP government rejected UK prison offer, says Prime Minister Holness. In a new revelation, the Holness administration is claiming that the United Kingdom's offer to help build a prison here was rejected by the Portia Simpson Miller-led government in 2016 and not the now ruling Jamaica Labour Party, JLP. That disclosure and accompanying explanations in a late evening statement from Holness yesterday were never advanced when Kamina Johnson Smith, the Foreign Affairs and the Foreign Trade Minister, finally gave an update in the Senate on January 13, 2017, 6 months after opposition member Lambert Brown asked about the status of the offer. Holness was forced to make the statement after saying at a press briefing last Friday that his government did not turn down the UK's 2015 $5.5 billion proposal that appeared contradictory to the yes Johnson Smith said in 2017 when asked if the government of Jamaica had rejected the offer. In a tweet on Saturday, the foreign minister said Holness was being honest. And in his statement last night, Holness said the People's National Party PNP administration, which is JLP booted from office in February 2016, had by then rejected the offer, saying there was no advancement on a non-binding Memorandum of Understanding MOU that was reportedly signed. From the known actions of the PNP or lack thereof, one could conclude that the PNP had in fact rejected the 2015 offer, Holness said. I cannot speak for what the PNP accepts as an offer between governments. However, the standard of this government is that statements in the press or general discussions, even with ministry officials, do not amount to offers between countries. Saying the PNP had questions to answer, Holness added that there was no engagement of the bilateral process to renew or reopen the offer, and certainly there was no new offer or MOU before us to consider. We inherited a matter, he said, that was not pursued by the former PNP administration and for which we had previously declared that we would not ourselves pursue. The statement, however, did not explain why Johnson Smith did not tell the Senate that the offer was rejected before the JLP administration formed government, and given that inherited knowledge, why it took the government 6 months to answer the questions. Although Pernell Charles Jr., then a minister in the Security Ministry, told the Senate in December 2016 about a particular diplomatic process that needed conclusion before the country was updated on the offer. After Johnson Smith said the deal was rejected because the terms were not beneficial to Jamaica as a whole, Brown asked if there was any attempt by the administration to renegotiate or to seek amendments to the terms and conditions of the proposal. Johnson Smith replied, I am not sure it would be appropriate for me to share the nature of discussions and negotiations that may or may not have taken place between government officials on this matter. Then opposition Senator Mark Golding also asked when the deal was rejected, but Johnson Smith declined to answer, saying she needed clearance from the Security Ministry. In media appearances after the Senate update, Johnson Smith reiterated the position of the Holness administration, including on Television Jamaica's Smile Jamaica morning program on January 16, 2017, when she said, "What has been offered has not been accepted." Other members of the administration, including former National Security Minister Robert Montague, said the government preferred support for schools and factories, the long-standing position of the JLP to David Cameron, the then UK Prime Minister, who announced the offer on a visit to Jamaica in September 2015. "We thank you for your kind offer," Montague told Radio Jamaica on January 17, 2017, before adding that the rejection is not a rejection of the UK. The UK does things in their best interest. Jamaica must do the same. Montague, as Security Minister, was responsible for prisons and met with British officials over the proposal within days of his appointment to the portfolio in March 2016. British High Commissioner Steve Hammond, when questioned in October 2017, said that the offer was off the table unless Jamaica wanted to pursue it. Peter Bunting, the Security Minister, when the offer was made, has said he will review the situation. "To my certain knowledge, there was no rejection," Bunting said last night. Jamaicans were outraged at the proposal, which would see the British funding 40% of the cost, Jamaica the remaining 60%, and the return of over 300 Jamaicans serving time in UK prisons. Jamaica's prison conditions are widely viewed as inhumane and are back in focus following reports that 81-year-old Noel Chambers died under inhumane circumstances at the Tower Street Adult Correctional Center, where he had been held for 40 years without trial. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.